are such an asshole.
Hello, children. We got a pretty cool request, and I'm gonna save this. This will go in the book when I write the book about consulting. Dear a-hole, I'm a repeat client. I would like a video response. I'm 26-year-old dude with no highly paid skills, no college degree. I worked armed security full time. I make 30 to 35,000 a year. No debt, no kids, no wife. I don't do drugs, and I don't drink. My hobbies include hiking, running, working, and working out. Winning done. I'm trying to see the problem here. And I even emailed you back. I said, I kind of envy you. It's it's the classic scene from American Beauty where it's Kevin Spacey, and he's like, I was 18 years old working fast food, and all I did was work my fast food job, go out, party, get laid, and occasionally do pot. He says, it was great. And I was like, yeah, I remember those times working security. Fresh out of high school, you're like, this kind of sucks, going to school full time on top of that all. But if I just had to work security, and there's a couple of years where that was it, it's like, yeah, those are good times. I would, there was a couple times where I was just working security and doing dance classes. This is my mid-younger 20s. And all I would do is go to like jazz clubs, put on my occasional suit, talk to girls, have a martini or a cocktail, dance, listen to jazz. I even remember reading The Economist at jazz clubs. Work my late night security shift. And I got laid. It was a simple formula. Wasn't complicated. And now, yes, I would say my life is better. It has improved. Who knew this? But it's more complicated. There's times like, oh, Windows 7, great, I got to update it. Oh, we can't update it because we want you to buy more Microsoft. That's what we say. Like, let's do a Linux boot from a thumb drive. How do I do that again? Here we go. Oh, this thing isn't talking to that thing, and I got to get my lighting right. And I'm like, you know what? I remember working security guard, and played Civilization 2 on a laptop. And that was the big thing. Ooh, a laptop. That's when those were big. Just played that game all night. So I can't. I almost, hey, in the comments section, I know we don't have that many people tuning in. 1 if you envy the guy, 0 if you don't. I'm kind of curious how that will go down, just to show the client. I think there's a lot of people who like, yeah, man, you're doing it right. You're smarter than all of us in some regard. Yeah, you should probably be working up a little bit more. But right now, you're way ahead of your average 26-year-old. You ain't got no debt. You ain't got no kids. You ain't got no divorce. And you just got this nice little life, and you get to do what you want. Like, yeah, okay. That sounds real nice, actually. Hang on, let's see if we got any. Let me go to the comments. 1, yeah, look at all these ones coming in. 1. It's all ones. So you're on to something. I bet you these guys, for the most part, are older than you, dude. So it's not like we're just, yeah, man, I don't want to like. I think these guys are all older than you. Okay, Jesse says no. She doesn't want that. So we got a girl in here. Why do we got a girl in here? All right. I find myself wanting to pursue skilled labor just to make more money, but I don't really have any interest in any specific field. I also just moved back in with my folks and will be only paying $200 a month. I was living on my own. 1-bedroom apartment paying $1,000 a month. I have a great relationship with my family, so it's not a big issue to me. Generally, on paper, I would generally be against that, but since you ain't, interested in chasing girls, and I think rent is egregious nowadays, but everyone voted for that because free Obama money and free Trump money. And now we're going to have more free Biden money. I wonder what's going to happen to rents in the future. But it's kind of like Beckloff. Beckloff just lives with his dad. It's 2 bachelors. And Beckloff is one of the happiest people I know. And he works at the box factory. It's like a Simpsons episode, for God's sake. He's just, him and his old man, the roommates. He's got his dog. Beckloff podcasts all the time. You can find him on YouTube. Just listen to him. Like, that's a happy man. He has his faith in God. He's got his dog, and he works at the box factory. I was like, yeah. And, like, Chris, you want to come on? And he's like, no, I don't. It's not that he doesn't want to come visit. It's just that he's happy where he is. reads his comic books. It's like, oh, I wish that could be that guy. I actually enjoy being there, and they don't put any pressure on me to figure things out. I have so many options that I could pursue, and yet I don't feel compelled in any direction. Yes, I'm a lazy ass millennial. That could be some of it, but here's the other thing. All work sucks. Anything worthwhile takes effort, and it's hard. And so nothing's going to be like fun. It isn't, trade, accounting, finance, or not finance, engineering. But here's the thing, man. Do you need to make more money? Like, are you happy? What are you, your folks going to pass away? You get the house. I'm not saying that that's what you're hoping for and aiming for. But do you need to complicate your life? Do you need to make more money? What I would do is I would look into becoming an armed security guard. Or are you already armed? Because that pays a little bit more. Armed security. All right, never mind. You're armed. Okay. May pick up some other shifts. But yeah, looking for, nothing's going to seem that exciting because it's work. But this is the benefit of you living a minimalist lifestyle. You don't need to do that. You could just sit and chill, man. You can have a very peaceful, calm, content life. Spend time with your folks. Spend time with your family. Read books, whatever. We'll get to answer, but what I'm trying to point out is there's nothing wrong with what you're just doing, right? You keep on doing. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have life on easy mode, essentially. I don't want to start a family or get a girlfriend for a while, maybe until 35 or older. I may not even start a family. That's an option. I mean, it's not an option. It might be a choice that's forced on you. Until what girl, I mean, let's be honest. What girl is going to date a guy who's just a security guard that works at home? You could have your finances squared away. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I didn't live at home. I lived in rental income where old-time bachelors rented out for me. I was not a catch, not on paper. But there were girls back in those days, I think maybe they kind of saw potential within me. Some girls did. I wasn't paying attention. But nowadays, no, man. I mean, you're not gonna you're gonna have to be on paper. You're gonna have to have some kind of degree. You have to have some kind of prestige profession. I don't know if that's worth giving up your life to take a 50-50 crack at getting divorced. But you know what? I won't even worry about that. It would be nice if you found a girl like, well, what do you do? I just chill out, work security, read books, sit and feed the ducks, go hiking, and work on your hobbies. Well, do you want to know? No, kind of fine the way I am. I like it. And then you'll know. Girl be like, wow, that's really insightful. Well, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Or, ooh, lives at home with his mother, which you got a point there. They got a point there. Ooh, a security guard. Ooh, snores well. And I was like, well, you wouldn't really want that gal anyway. I'm agnostic, but I'm really into meditation, Buddhism, philosophy, Taoism, etc. I mention that because I'm constantly thinking about the meaning of life. I feel really indifferent towards most things in life most people value. Right. Good. You are richer than the average schmuck in the suburbs with debt up to his eyeballs, a nagging wife, and a house that isn't finished. You live in paycheck to pay. You're way ahead of everyone. I'm not really interested in social status, being rich, or luxury lifestyle. But good. I honestly contemplate van life. I would just need to find a job or pick up some kind of skill that I could do remotely. All right. One thing I could tell you to do, why don't you look into like Uber Eats or some kind of Eats delivery? Now, Uber, you can't deliver or you can't provide rides outside of your state, I believe. You're going to have to do some research. But if you wanted, this is what the tornado chasing kid does. He chases tornadoes and then he'll end up obviously several states over, and then he'll just start delivering food because Americans are too fat and lazy to go get their own damn food. That's an option. You don't need no training. Somewhat along the lines you could do CDL and truck driving. just kind of hit the road and go out and travel around. That wouldn't take a lot of time, and that pays a lot more than security work. Your mom and dad would hold what minimal amount of stuff you have. You go off on the road, you come back, hey, mom, hey, dad. If you used to work in security, you used to work at nights and overnight shifts, well, then you could do the overnight trucking, make a little bit more scratch, make a little bit more money. So that's another thing you could do. But I'd say for your psychology and personality, I'd be very reluctant to go to college, because why? You're just going to pay more taxes. 4 years of youth gone. Like, you do not need to go to college. You could have the intelligence to become a great engineer, but I don't think it's not worth the 4 years of your time. Certainly not the 2 years that's going to be wasted keeping worthless, master's degree people employed in the prereq world. I would just need to find a job or pick up some kind of skill that I could do remotely. I've considered getting the bookkeeping certification 7-month program from my local college, but not sure if that would suffice or if I need to get a bachelor's in accounting. Well, the good thing now is that anything you do, if you show up on time, you're kind of going to get a job. Not to paint your generation with a broad brush, but painting your generation with a broad brush, ain't no one showing up on time or doing their job or being adults. And these employers are desperate for someone who just shows up and does the job right. I'm not against 7 months is fine. Get the certification, absolutely. You don't need a degree. You don't need the money. And you can do that online, get your certification, just do some basic bookkeeping. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. If I need to get a bachelor's in accounting. No, because here's the thing. Until you figure out what you want to do, I would not commit to any 4-year education program. I think trying a little bit of here and there and everywhere would be great. Because I'll tell you the honest truth. Here's what happens with most people in America, since certainly my generation. As a 17-year-old idiot with lies shoved up your ass from your teachers and parents and guidance counselors, you choose what you want to do. Then you get your degree by your 22, maybe 24 if you got a master's, and then you try to force that choice on the rest of the world. The rest of the world tells you no for the next 8 to 6 years until you're 30, and then you inevitably crack and break down and go back to school or some kind of education training to do some kind of job that the world actually wants you to do. So I think you're saving a lot of time, agony, and strife just kind of meandering and being Cain and walking the earth and figuring out what you want to. Try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that. And then by the time you're 30, you're like, oh, I figured it out. I really want to do this. Then you go and commit to a 2, 4, or 6-year education program. I think that's the way to do it, because you're not going to cripple yourself with $150,000 in debt early on, force the world to hire you as an early childhood education major, and then bitch and whine about why you only make $43,000 a year. So I think the 7-month accounting skill, I wouldn't commit to it, but get the certification, see if you like it. Take a look at truck driving. I asked you if you want to maybe consider doing the National Guard, because that's part-time. It's something to do. A couple of year commitment. It's something, and your security background will help you out with that. Very social guy, can make friends very easily, so I don't have any problems there other than not being able to relate to anyone at all. I just stay away from talking about myself as much as possible, because people look at me a little crazy when I start talking about minimalism and deep philosophical topics. No, man. No, don't. You just. Why does everybody like you? They don't know me. I don't know why they like me. They like what I do. They don't like me. And what I do is ask them about them. I don't say a thing about myself. I don't just, like I said, how do you not necessarily be popular? How do you do well in social situations? You never talk about yourself, and you always ask people about themselves, and with follow-up questions as if you're genuinely interested, which you should be. But you got that down. But yeah, you don't talk about libertarianism. You don't talk about Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Those are sheep. Those are NPCs. You just smile and let me talk about you some more. And they go, oh my God, he's the most amazing guy. He's so cool. It's like, yeah, all I did was talk about you. I know. Isn't it great? Me. Oh, not that this matters, but I feel as most people would view me as an inadequate or some kind of loser, but I feel very content with my life for the most part. Yes. And here's the other thing. Do you care what a bunch of debt-ridden lemming slave NPCs think about you? And you should feel content with your life. Good. Maybe just because I have so many choices, so little responsibility. My family doesn't judge me, but they are confused by my contentment. Dude, so few people are content. They don't understand. They think it's the things and the stuff and the degrees. And boats on hose, boats on, oh no, hose on boats, hose on boats. No, boats and hose. That's what it, boats and hose, boats and hose. I'd recommend you get into motorcycle riding though, by the way. My family doesn't judge me if they're confused by my contentment. I used to be very money motivated and career oriented, but the more I learned about minimalism and philosophy, the more content I became. I'm very motivated to run, work out, and learn about intellectual topics, but I don't feel very motivated to put all my time and energy into a career. I guess I'm just looking for opinion and or validation of my lifestyle. I could not validate your lifestyle. If I had a stamp, Cappy stamp of approval, I'd stamp it. There's nothing wrong with you doing what you do until you're dead. Not at all. And really, do I say this? You may want to go and walk the path. I talked about this with the tornado chasing kid. I say, you should write a book. I'm not going to give the book idea away, but I'm like, you're going through this journey, certainly down a different path, and you should write about it when you get to the end. Not now, because you're a 21-year-old idiot. You barely are verbal. You just got a pube yesterday. You know, he's ginger, so you got to look out for that. But more seriously, and to your point, just you have, in being a minimalist, you have earned the right that you don't have to do anything. You could just enjoy this life, be content. That's why everyone works so hard and makes the money so that they could be content. And none of them achieve it. Why? Because they think being content has to do with things and stuff. They think it's about prestige and status and getting boats on hose, boats on hose. No, man, you are so far ahead, so far ahead. So I'm going to recommend you do is whatever the hell you want and do it guilt-free, and do not ever feel compelled that you have to get a career ever again. You're not collecting welfare. You're not committing no crimes. You're content. You're less than 3% of the at least the U.S. population ever achieves that by the time they're dead. So I don't know why you'd mess with this formula. Now, there's some other things I'd recommend that are all very part-time, and you test it all out. And here the world is yours, and I can't tell you what to do. I ask, well, how much time do you spend evaluating different things? They say, not a lot. Like, okay, well, maybe 30 minutes a day. You go online and you figure out, okay, what's it like being an accountant? What's it like joining the National Guard? And I would more view these things as not career options, but just adventures for you to go on, experiences for you to have to enrich and fulfill your life. Add a little bit of spice. Now, admittedly, National Guard might be like a several-year commitment. That's all right. That's what it is. But then you did I did the National Guard thing. I learned how to fire a gun. I think CDL truck driving would be perfect for you. A thinking man like Alex just listens to podcasts all the time. That'd be a job I'd even kick around. So that maybe there'd be more money involved in it, obviously. And you could kind of take your pick of the litter there. And if they give you any guff, like, no, I don't need this. No, you're going to pay me this, and I'm going to do that. And if you tell me, where are you? You're late. No, there was snow. And if you ever do that to me again, you're down one driver. So tell my manager to F off. I'm just trying to think. I mean, it's whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. Because if I could just, have super cheap rent, make enough money, and chill out, what would I do? Well, I would have gone ballroom dancing and had martinis and read The Economist. That's what I would have done. I would ride motorcycles and go hiking. And like I was going to lead up to this, normally I don't say this about people, but you may want to think about becoming some kind of content creator or artist of some kind, not musically inclined or painting inclined, because you'd have to have a skill. And maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to try. But your viewpoint is so exceptionally rare, and you've achieved it at such a young age, there is so much demand. I can't keep up with it. Technically, you'd be a competitor of mine in some regards. I can't keep up with the amount of brainwashed robots, single moms, the welfare state, government checks, and the public school systems and the Democrats are churning out, ruining these young people's lives, especially boys, where everyone thinks it's about money and their politics and the traits they were born with. I cannot unplug enough people from the matrix fast enough. I got more work than I can handle. If you had this minimalism approach and you're younger, you could really think about writing a blog or doing a podcast. It doesn't even, it could just be meditations with something. Your viewpoint is unique and you're very young, so you could speak to the younger kids. I come in more yelling like an old man, like, you darn kids don't know what you're doing. And like, look at the old boomer. Ha, ha, ha. He thinks that my master's in social work won't land me a job. Ha, ha, ha. It's so funny because you could look at you and here's this like perfectly content man, and all the girls are gonna want to have nothing to do with you. Like, here's a pretty good guy. He's in shape and he's got his finances together. He's all good to go. The talk about, I always let me tell you, and then I'll kind of finish and we'll get through the super chats and all that. I always wanted to do kind of a video. And we can't do it anymore because I don't think people really go to bars, but we go to like some meat market and I'd have guys I know who make lots of money and are professional. Like I got one guy who's a pilot. He makes over $250,000 a year. He does other stuff on the side. A very brilliant man. I know another guy. I know a lot of successful men, and I just have them go to a bar, and then I'd have like we'd film it where the girls just shooting these guys down, and these girls wouldn't know that there'd be like a data readout, like it'd be pointing to it. Bob. His name's not Bob. Salary $250,000. Profession pilot or engineer or whatever, net worth $2.7 million, and just watch these girls shoot them down. It's gonna be the same thing. There's no woman. I'm sorry, man. Ain't no girl I would not even bother with the girls right now. The girl's gonna have to identify you and have a sharp enough eye to say that guy is really content, and they're gonna also have to be okay with like, yeah, you don't make six figures. But by God, you're going to have a lot of fun in life. Girls want money. They don't want fun, though. So it's too bad. Anyway, yeah, look, I can't tell you what to do except not to commit to a 48-year education program. I would also tell you to realize and appreciate the position you're in. You're in the position that everyone wants to get to in life. Further evidencing that money is not it. All right. And so instead of like, oh, I'd like to get a skilled trade. All right, well, I would be doing it for yourself and not necessarily more money because you don't need the money. And with that in mind, you have every option on the table. I would honestly, if I was in your situation, I kind of sort of am. I got pulled into this thing. I'd become a vagabond. You know what? Here, even though you're not the Tsar of Russia, go read Robert Massey's book about Peter the Great. And it's a long book, but you got time. Peter the Great, I think it was by the time he passed away, he had become a master. He had the equivalent of 14 masters or doctorates in everything from shipbuilding to cannon building. Like the dude could not sit still. A very amazing man. And even though you don't have the benefits of being the Tsar of Russia, although he did not have a easy time achieving that, I think that's what you should do. You should view life more as a buffet of different things you'd like to do and walk the world as Cain or Peter the Great. And you want to become National Guard. You're like Forrest Gump, I'll try a little bit of it, except you're not stupid. Do a little bit of everything. Join the National Guard. All right. Maybe the Reserve Police Force. There's another thing that will play well to your security skills. Truck driving. Go live here, go live there, work up a little bit of money, tell your boss, hey boss, I'm taking off for 6 months. I'm going to Thailand. Why? I don't know. I just want to check it out. You go there or wherever you want to go. Pick up motorcycle riding. You already do the hiking. You know, and by the way, motorcycle riding doesn't make you any money. There, whatever you feel like doing, man. Pick up some trades and some crafts. Maybe you want to get. Here's one. Maybe you could sink your. Here's a project for you. Okay, and this will pay. Why don't you start teaching yourself how to build your own off-grid house? Not just build your own house, but your off-grid house. There's a guy on Facebook, if you look him up, his name is Ryan Steva, R-Y-A-N Steva, S-T-E-V-A. And he builds everything. Everything's off-grid. I think he's down in Tennessee somewhere. Anyway, the point is, the largest expense you will incur over time is your lodging. And if you can learn to build your own house and have it off grid, not only will that save you a lot of time and money and put you in a very good financial position, I think that will, satiate your brain and your intellect, and two, teach you some amazing skills overall. What I'm picturing is you go buy a piece of property, you do your research, you find a piece of property, maybe nearby your folks because you love them. Seems like you got a great relationship with your folks. And your dad could help you with this. Maybe your mom too. It'd be a very bonding moment. But the skills I wish that I could teach young people, if I could tell young men and women to have these skills, it'd be able to build your own lodging. So you find a piece of property. And then maybe you pay some people to do the concrete foundation because you don't want to go buy a truck and do it yourself. Or maybe you just drill the pylon holes in the foundation, put some adjustable levers on it. That'd be a cheaper way to, even I could do that. And then you go get yourself a tough shed, or you go get one of these pre-made sheds, and you're a minimalist, so you don't need any more than it. You could get a 2-room house essentially. And then you learn to do the plumbing and the electricity, and then you learn to put a well in. Figure out how to, have someone drill the well, depending on whether you could get a well in that area. You do solar panels. You set up the solar panels yourself. You get a little wood-burning stove, so you got heat. And then you just got your little house in the woods, man. Your little house in the woods, and you built it yourself. And for what would be maybe those tough sheds you could get for like under 20 grand. But let's say another 20 grand for like laying down concrete and paying some other professionals to kind of do the stuff that you don't have the tools for. And for them to do it right, quote unquote right. But I'd wait until there's a housing crash. Then you wait for the contractors to come in. But you just build your own house. And then you got your own nice little house. And you can read your books. And you got your solar power and your wind power, and you got water. And you are way financially further ahead. 40 grand, you got a house. And you did it yourself, and it's all done, and it's nice, and it's quiet, and it's quaint. Maybe you walk a mile down, visit your mom and dad. Then you're not there anymore. I think that'd be a great project. And then along the way, you learn carpentry, you learn plumbing, you learn electrical work, you learn about solar power installation, you learn about off-grid stuff, wells and all that. That's what I would do if I was in your situation. So I'd be doing a little exploring, a little reconnaissance. Join the National Guard, get some health benefits. Sure, why not do the accounting thing? I'd be truck driver before I do the accounting thing. Come back like, yeah, I think I am going to set up shop here. I like being near my family. Okay, now go find some land, talk to the local reserve police force, see if you can join the reserve police force. And then, get your house, and then 5 years go by, you're 35. Like, what do I want to do? It's kind of the same old. You know what? I'm going to go motorcycle across the country. Oh, I'm going to do van life. I think van life would be a good thing too, where you could do the Uber thing. Certainly that would be a good idea. But I can't tell you which is what. I'll tell you this. You got every great option on the table. Every great option. And I really like building that small little bachelor hut. I really like that idea. So that's what I do. Yeah, nearly everyone is putting 1 in here. Very few zeros. The Competent Man, $5. Companies say they want workers, but still effing around. Customer of mine wants weekly hoof tests. So even though remote had to drive 1 hour to take. Yeah, well, I guess there's going to be a labor shortage. I guess that labor shortage is going to continue on, huh? I know it's kind of funny. I know several, it's still a holdover of old school corporate America. I know 2 people now that got laid off. And in both cases, one company has been looking for their replacement for 4 months. The other one's been looking for 6. They don't get it. They really don't get it. And they're soon going to find out that not only do they need their muscle, but they need they view them as peons, like your secretaries and your janitors. Well, if the toilets are clogged now, let's say you're a prestigious law firm or Big Four accounting. Well, now your CPAs and law people have to go and unplug the toilets because you weren't going to pay Esmeralda $15 an hour so she could live. That's right. Fine. It's fine. Competent man, $2. Plus they have a site mask order. F the sheep. Yeah, just say no. See, and here's where this young man could just he just have his house. He just have his little hut. I think the National Guard might require him to get the shots and everything, but yeah, okay, then I guess you just deliver Uber Eats or whatever. Grubhub, I think, is the one where you don't need the license. Competent man, $2. Note, sheeple is now banned. What? Are you kidding? What, on the comment section, or I'm going to get a strike because I said sheeple? I mean, I've resigned myself. The day is coming that Google will become so rated G that, poop and fart will be banned words, and I'll be like, okay, fine. And then we'll go elsewhere. Alex Patino, $5. I should be sleeping because I'm the nighttime driver here. I was listening to Cappy yell at the wind because 99% don't listen. Well, this guy obviously would listen. He's doing it better than all of us combined. How do I look? I'm on StreamYard right now. I don't know how to make you a mod, John. And John, you still got, if you got your what's it called? Affiliate link, that should work for the new class. By the way, class, Achieving Minimalism. I'm sorry, course, John. It's a course. My course, Achieving Financial Excellence, is now open for enrollment. And it's very germane to what we're talking about here about minimalism. So if you would like to kind of have this guy's position, there's the course link below. It's $99. I don't want to spend money. Well, then be poor. I don't care. Don't be this guy. Have to work. Have your McMansion. Have your McMortgage. Have your McWife. Have her student loan debts. Have slavery. Fine. Why am I poor? Where'd all the money go? I think we're caught up. All right, we're caught up. That's it. Okay, questions, answers. AssholeConsulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.